Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the competition week from October 20th. Needless to say, it's the most special one of the year. It's the World Championships 2025 World Championships in Jakarta, Indonesia. You're going to see the entire build up today to the World Championships, and you're going to see both P-bars and high bar at the competition. So settle in. It's a longer video, and I got a lot of feelings and emotions that are still stored up from the massive week. But to get started, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Misha, and here I share my love for gymnastics. You can watch literally every single turn I take on the equipment in the last 5 years or so. So fam, where do we begin? Where do we begin? I think a good place to start is the area of Indonesia, Jakarta. I feel like it's quite rare for World Championships to be hosted in such a region. You know, this is number 12, I believe, for myself. World Champs number 12 since 2007, which was my first Worlds. I only skipped 2013 and 2021. So since 07, I've been to every single one besides those two. And usually it's like somewhere in Europe or you know, if it's Asia, it's like China or Japan. But I guess Indonesia, correct me if I'm wrong, is considered Southeast Asia, and it's quite the tropical climate. So day one, fam, day one in the gym. We had a lot of exciting teams with us. There you can see Brody just took out the World Champs high bar title, and he was being extremely nice to me. He would bring me some honey and chalk and stuff so that I could do the P-bar. Maybe it's because he wanted me to hurry up because I was taking so long. I don't know, but we had a lot of fun teams. We had the Russian guys over there to your right. Had a couple of chats with them. The pommel and high bar specialists from, is it Taiwan? I might be wrong there, but Li Chi Kai and Tan Chia Hong were in our sessions. There you can see the guys from Netherlands. Always have a little chat with Bart from the Netherlands, and found out coincidentally me and Bart are the same age. And then over there to the right you can see Jermaine talking with Asher. Jermaine had to change his giant Makut's technique, otherwise known as the Bowman. During podium training, the judges told him that if you shift your hand even a little bit when you do the 3/4 D-arm on the single rail, the skill doesn't get paid, doesn't get counted. So poor Jermaine was trying to switch up his giant Makut's technique literally the day before the competition. But I mentioned in the last video, it was a fast turnaround, fam. We got there. We had 1 day of training, and you know, coming from New Zealand, if you're a New Zealand athlete and you know you're working your way up to the senior ranks and hoping to represent the country, we got a tough gig, fam. We got a tough gig because we usually arrive you know, a bit later. We don't have the luxury that other countries have where they'll do a 1 to 2 week training camp somewhere in the same region as the World Championship or the World Cup, depending on the event. We kind of just roll up and have to get straight into it from the other side of the world, and fam, it's tough. It is really tough, and you're gonna see that in podium training. The top sort of goal in podium training is to get routines, but inevitably you're more concerned about feeling the arena, feeling the apparatus. And like I mentioned in the last video, a lot of things change when you go to international events. And it's not just the equipment feeling a little bit different, it's your body feeling a little bit different. And usually the blind spots that you have in skills that are inconsistent, they really make themselves known. So I think the theme of this World Championship, you're gonna see the blind spot of my giant Diami really kicking my ass. I had not a clue what to do until literally the day of the competition. So it took a lot of that one was actually okay, but once I go out to the arena, you'll see the antics begin. So day 2 was podium, long day of travel, 1 training session, and straight into podium training. It was tough, and my instinct was to play it pretty safe. I was quite careful, quite cautious when I was going through all my skills, because you want to be safe. You want to make it to the actual day. And even though you have hundreds of skills and lots of routines, at least on P-bar, under your belt, the experience tells me that in occasions like this, fam, in some cases you can have 1,000 routines and it's all meaningless. It's all meaningless once you hit a massive environment such as one at the World Championships. Not to say it's all for nothing, but there are times where things just don't go your way, and you're gonna see that P-bars did not go my way, not only in podium training, but also in the competition. So we'll save that for a little bit later. So inevitably, podium training turned out to be more of a just get a bunch of skill reps in. Both P-bars and high bar, it was just obvious that the routines was not gonna happen. I kind of tried on P-bar here, but ready for it? Yes, straight away. Out of touch with that line, out of touch with how to spin well. Everything just went downhill on the giant DM. Even that one, you can tell something is just a bit disconnected. The spin wasn't as crisp, wasn't as efficient as what I do back home. And man, Taishan bars and me, we don't get along well. We don't get along well in terms of grip. That was one challenge for me. I had to figure out the correct honey chalk ratio for the Taishan bar. And if you pay attention, you see right here, I'm on the left side of the bar. I don't know what team or guy it was, but the bar was so caked. It was so caked, and caked meaning the chalk is packed on so much that it's almost like in rocks. It's really nitty gritty. And some guys like it like that. Personally, I like the bar quite smooth. So I couldn't hold on to save my life. And what I did, a decision that was made at the competition, I switched around the side that I did my routine on, so that I could have a bit smoother of a grip, because that side that I was on, there was just no saving it. You do like a couple of rubs of sandpaper and all the chalk is just all over the sandpaper, making the sandpaper useless. So yeah, switched sides. Again, feeling the waters, being careful, and it was more an instinctual decision to be on the careful side, because in my mind I was like, I wanted to get plenty of skill reps done, wanted to get potentially a routine done, but that instinct from the gut just woohoo. Okay, got a bit of a whiplash there. That instinct from the gut just, I've learned to listen to it. And I'm glad I did, because fam, you've already seen the routine. I have no idea how the hell, after such a disastrous P-bar set in the comp, I came back and did one of the high bar routines of the high bar routine of my life at a World Championships. And we can talk about that real quick. The routine I did at Liverpool 2022, I thought that, that was peak. There's no way I could ever top what I did at Liverpool. The skill repertoire was great. We had a Pagan, a Cassina, a Coleman, and 2 Kachevs. I got through the routine. I scored pretty well. I had a 13.3 something. I thought, okay, there's no way I can top that. So here, the skill repertoire maybe is a little bit less, even though doing a Pagan and a piked Gaylord in the same routine is extremely challenging. Side note, double tap routine, fam, I reckon this double tap routine saved me as well. It gave me the endurance to stick that dismount at the end of my comp. But where was I? So doing a Pagan and a pike Gaylord in one routine is extremely challenging, because there's 2 different speeds of the giant which you have to get right. And then of course we still put the Coleman in there. But again, at the end of that set, after that disaster on P-bar, once I caught the pike Gaylord, instinct said, much like it did at Nationals, stop there. Stop there. Finish all the on-bar stuff, as you see me just still confused about that giant Diami, and just make this routine from start to finish. So I took out the tucked Gaylord 2, which is 0.3 down in difficulty, so that took me from a 5-4 to a 5-1, but it meant for a relatively clean dismount. Still, you're going to see, I think you can tell there's a bit of pike in the dismount throughout the flip. Oh fam, I was like so confused. I was telling my coach David, I was like, David, I don't know what's going on. Like, don't feel my straight line, I don't feel the spin. It's like that song, it's just confusion until it's over, fam. And it was over on the day of the comp. So where was I? Taking out the tucked G2 helped to get a nice clean dismount. So we got the 0.1 stick bonus. And there you see Daniel Maryanov from Russia, but they obviously competed under AIN, watching me eat poo-poos on my giant Diami attempts. But his start, fam, was a 5-1 as well. He did a 5-1 start, and fam, he made the final. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, even a 5-1, if you do it clean, can make a final at a world championship. So I've always thought of myself as, you know, if there's a potential that I have to get top 16 at a world championships apparatus, it'll be P-bars. I think I've talked on many occasions that once you hit top 16 at a world championships or Olympic games for New Zealand, you do get some funding for the following year, and that's always been a goal of mine. But now I feel like it might be possible on high bar as well. So that leads me, fam, to the next point, where not only did I beat my score at Liverpool, so Liverpool was 13-3 something, Jakarta was 13-4 something. Let's keep in mind that the rules changed and all the start values went down by about, you know, 0.5, 0.4, depending on how you want to look at it, because the 5 element groups were reduced to just 4 element groups. So I actually beat the 13.3 with 2 kind of factors which lower the start value and the score. The first factor is it's down to 4 element groups, and then the second factor is you only get 8 skills. So all to say that you know, you're getting much less difficulty compared to the 10 skill rule set. So I topped it, fam. I topped my set from Liverpool and I placed 21st. Before that, if we're not counting the vault result that I got at Rio Olympics, where there was only 17 people doing 2 vaults and one guy faced both vaults, so I beat him and got 16th. If we don't count that, my previous best was 23rd on P-bars at Glasgow World Champs 2015. And here, fam, 21st. 21st, how long's it been? It's been 10 years exactly, fam. A decade later. So maybe another decade, fam, when I'm 44, we can get that top 16 on one of the apps. Get a bit of funding to make these trips a little cheaper. So anyway, we're watching the warm-up in the back gym before marching out. I felt fine. My nerves were under control. There's Suarez, had a little chit-chat with Suarez, my coach from Ohio State. Massive congrats to Cameron Nelson, who made the floor final and debuted that triple pike. 2 triples in 1 set. He's the only one, fam. He's the only one on the planet that competes that. So tidy him up and he'll be shooting for that world title, Olympic title, I'm sure of it. Down to 1 touch. We're on the 1 touch, fam. Figured out that giant Diami right before marching out. And I remember quite clearly, I got in touch with what my right arm is doing. So the left arm is posting on the bar, doing the support. But the right arm, I was just kind of doing nothing with it after throwing the bar back. And what I had to do was bring my right arm in. Seems obvious, but, you know, like I said, I was just out of touch with it during the whole week here. So 1 touch, adrenaline kicks in on the first step, fam. My goodness, it's like you turn into this free floating ball and your body is like something else. Your body feels like nothing you've ever experienced. So let's dissect this. So I started facing the other way so that I could do my underbar skills on the other side of the bar compared to podium training. Started things pretty clean with a nice Honma. Obviously a bit nervous here after the skill was going off the whole week, and you can tell it was a bit messier, a bit of a hand adjustment there. And then I think I don't know, either I didn't work hard enough, I was being a bit apprehensive, but once I missed that connection, I was like, okay, you're not gonna get a score. I relaxed a little bit and boom. And I was like, really on a Healy. That hasn't happened. I don't remember the last time that happened. So missed the Healy, which didn't it sucked, but I kind of already knew from the Peach one the potential to score well is over. And just dismounted with a double tuck, so another 2/10 gone in diff there. And fam, at this point, it's horrendous. It's like, well, I've botched the one piece that I had a potential to score and place well on, and now I'm about to head into a piece where I've made the amount of routines that I could count on one hand, even less, fam. I think we got through 4 routines, so things were not looking good, and I think there almost wasn't enough time from P-bars to high bar. The competition ran pretty quickly. Wasn't enough time to sulk and get upset. So perhaps that's one reason that I was able to... You see that balance check right there? If you rewind 2 seconds, I remember that balance check so vividly. I was like, oh God, I'm almost falling over. I'm cooked, fam. I'm cooked. There's no way the set's gonna happen. And then I jumped on the bar. I entered the portal, and at this moment, fam, I'm gone. Like, I am in another place. Just, I don't even know how to describe it, but the sensitivity to the bar and my gymnastics in this moment was insane. So this is where I decided to abort the Gaylord 2, did the best Zoli min I could, tried to turn it over a little bit more, did the extra giant, like I said in the last week, to make sure that top change is a bit higher. And I knew I had to work hard on the dismount. I knew I had to get the knees straight to save a few tenths. Pretty sure they were straight. Little pikey, but stuck, fam. Stuck. The wave right now that I'm experiencing, like, gratitude to the high bar gods, whatever it was that got me through that set. And as you can tell, I'm almost in disbelief. I was in such disbelief I couldn't even celebrate. So we're gonna finish off here with the replays of the releases. I could talk another hour, fam, but there's gonna be one more training week from Jakarta, because I did a little bit of work after this in the training gyms. So once again, I want to say thank you to all of the kind donators who pitched in to make this trip possible. I wouldn't be able to do this trip, or especially not the next one. Massive thanks to the E3, massive contributor. You're gonna see me roll his kit in the following training week, and just thank you, just gratitude to everything. We did it, fam. We hit a cool high bar set when it counts. All the best, till next time.